Sometimes fish tanks just get on top of you. That's what's happened with this one, so I have to shut it down. So this is my desk out in the fish room. This is where I do all the editing. And this has been my partner in crime for over a year. It's been the Iwagumi. We got the tank from the Underwater Pet Expo. Feels like forever ago. From the Bioscape booth. It already had the rocks set up, but then I went in and did a dry start and created this Monte Carlo carpet. It's doing really well. I did add some Java moss, which I cut right up into fine pieces and painted onto the rocks. It looked really good, but it was pretty hard to keep in control. And predominantly we've had a school of Ember Tetras in here, but since I lost the last batch through the flooding, I haven't replaced them. There's one in there, and there's also this really awesome koi betta from Keeping Fish Simple. These two are gonna go and move over to my other favorite tank over here. We're gonna pull all this out and we're gonna clean it all up. I'm gonna put another tank here and I'll show you what we're doing with that one in this video. But the hair algae is just too entrenched in everything. You can see the Monte Carlo's coming back out. I added CO2. The plant's sort of getting on top of things. I added Vallisneria at the back to try and slow the growth of the algae down, but I think it's just too little too late, unfortunately. All right, so while all this sucks, I've really learned a lesson with hair algae. I'll go over a few things that I tried and what worked and what didn't work. I think realistically, I should have got on top of things a lot quicker. So the big issue was probably me just being a bit lazy, thinking that I already knew what I was doing and I was already on top of it, but it just didn't work out that way. While it's disappointing, the fish are still gonna have a really good home. The tank can be repurposed and we'll create a whole new tank in that one. Really want to do a Dutch scape, so I'll probably get stuck into that over the next couple of weeks. The exciting thing for the moment though is we've got a 10-litre tank that was given to the channel by a friend of Aquamates and a friend of Studio H2O, and we're going to make that the perfect home for our little koi betta. In front of the editing suite, and we've got that 10-litre tank that Spizzer set up. He's done this awesome thing. It's not a conventional sort of aquascape. It's actually designed to sort of cut across the middle diagonally. So we have Monte Carlo growing at the back, and I've got some dwarf chainsaw down the bottom. I've got some red root floaters. So at the moment, we're just trying to get those plants to really grow in. I've got CO2 running on the tank. So hopefully in a few weeks, it'll be nice and lush and ready for our koi betta's new home. But while it's sad to see that the Iwagumi's gone, I'm really glad that we're gonna have this dedicated koi betta setup that was donated by one of the community, Spizzer. Thank you very much for the tank. I can't wait to get those plants growing and make the most of this cool little setup. So what are the things that I tried to do to get rid of the hair algae? I tried to use some No More Blackbeard and put that directly onto some of the hair algae. That worked, but only in sort of sections. It's very hard to try and keep on top of it. The other simple thing I did was just try and remove it as much as I could. But as you break hair algae, sometimes it just spreads out to the tank and then you end up with more problems than you started with. I did spend a week just fully blacking out the tank. It definitely helped, but I just couldn't get rid of all of it because the hair algae had gone too far. Last but not least, I used CO2 and a lot of fertilizer to really try and give that Monte Carlo a better chance at taking over than the hair algae. But unfortunately, I think it was working. It just wasn't working well enough. Just remember, when you are keeping fish and you're growing plants, you're always going to learn lessons. It's something that's part of the hobby. I'm learning lessons all the time. Don't take it as a failure. Take it as a lesson, learn from it and move on and try and better yourself as a fish keeper or as a plant keeper in my case. So in a few weeks when the plants are thriving, we're going to be putting the koi betta in there, and I can't wait to do a reveal video for all of you. I've got a full update on the Wabi Kusa and it's time for a trimming, so I can't wait to show you guys that. And last but not least, we're going to be doing a video on that new Dutch scape. I've got a whole bunch of ideas and I can't wait to share them all with you. So if you want to keep up to date with all those new projects, or you just want to learn more about the fish hobby, make sure you're subscribed and hit that like button. We've got new videos coming out every week. Until then, thank you everybody for watching, and remember, when you get new fish, always acclimate them first. I'm Josh from Aquamate. I'll see you soon.